Okay, now we come to round 1, phase 2, the actions phase. This is where you're going to take your team. Primarily, you're going to be using your boss and your gangsters. So what you're going to do, you can use one action, and your actions are mostly on your reference card. And the star ratings here tell you how proficient your gangster is at performing that action. I'm going to choose one out of the 3. So I've got my boss or my 2 gangsters. I can choose any one of those. I'm going to use the action that I want to use, and then it will go to the next player to use their action. So for example, I'm going to choose Guzman. Now, he has different things here. So let's look at the icon here. Is a steal icon. I know that because I go to my reference card and it tells me what it is and what it does. So you steal 100k from a syndicate. That means I'm going to steal 100,000 from a player that I choose. So first step, choose the person you're using. I'm using Guzman. Second step, choose the target. So I'm going to choose player 2, who would be sitting here, as the person that I want to attack. And then finally, what we're going to do is roll it. So as you can see, Guzman has 3 stars for steal. That means I need to get a 3 or below on the dice in order for it to be successful. I'm going to roll it. Okay, I got a 3. So that player would now give me 100k. The effects of the reference would happen. Last thing, Guzman now becomes tired. He becomes exhausted. He cannot be used again for the remainder of this phase. Now it's going to go to the next player, and we're going to go around the players, all taking one action until it comes back to me. I'm then going to choose my guy again. This one now, Lester Coke, he's got a 1, so I need a 1. I got a 4, I missed, so I didn't get anything happening. I turn him over because he's exhausted. Goes round again to my boss. This time I'm going to go for a green, which is earn money 100,000 from the bank. My boss has 2 stars, so I need a 2 or below. I got a 1. I take 100k from the bank, goes into my pile, and my boss is now exhausted. Now all of my gangsters and my boss are exhausted. That is the end of my actions phase. When everyone has completely exhausted, it's the end of the whole actions phase. Now the only other thing that you might be able to do here is your narcotics roll. So instead of using your stars, what you're going to use is, see the level 3 here? This is 3 on the narcotics. Now these work in columns. So let's say you had one here, you would add it up, but we don't. But we do have an upgrade that has 2 narcotics. That gives us a combined total here in this column of 5. Now instead of rolling the steal, which is what I did in the example, let's go back and say, no, I want to roll a smuggle. So that's narcotics. So I've got a 5 smuggle, a 5 narcotics that I can roll. What I'm going to do, I'm going to come here and I'm going to look and say, right, I've got 5, so I could sell a 1 to 2, or 3 to 4, or a 5 to 6, because I've got 5. So I choose which level I'm going to go for. Now, the lower the amount that you're going to sell, the less risk of going to jail, but the less money you're potentially going to make. As you go up higher, the higher risk of jail, but also the higher the amount of money you could make. So, for this one, I'll just give you an example. I have 5. I'm going to go maximum 5 to 6. When I roll the dice, I'm going to see the outcome is a 3. I'm going to come along the 5 to 6 row, and I'm going to get to the 3 dice roll, and that's what I get. 160k taken from the bank. I would take that money, add it to my collection, and as I said before, once you've used the gangster once, he becomes exhausted and can't be used till the end of the game. There is one other star rating that is defensive, and that is retaliate. Let's say player 2 rolled an action to try and kill my gangster here, but he missed. He got a 6, he needed, let's say, a 1 to 3. He got a 6, he missed. He was attacking this guy who has a retaliation score of 1. So I need to roll a 1 to kill him back. So anything that he does to one of my gangsters and misses, I can retaliate. So I need a 1, I didn't get it. If I had got a 1, that gangster would have died, but I missed the retaliation. Retaliation does not exhaust your gangster, so it's just an automatic thing that you can always do. If your gangster is exhausted and he's targeted, then you can still always retaliate. If a boss attacks your gangster, you can retaliate and kill the boss. It's the only way of killing a boss except for a boss-on-boss assault. So bosses can attack gangsters, bosses can attack other bosses, gangsters can't attack bosses, but they can retaliate and kill a boss in retaliation. Should your boss kill a boss, you're going to receive 250k from the bank for that kill. Like I said, when everyone is exhausted, we're then going to move to the income phase, the last phase of the round.